Today on CityLine, going behind the scenes of the state's hospitality industry, the hardworking professionals who make Massachusetts a tourism destination. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jessica Brown. Hospitality and tourism are major economic drivers here in Massachusetts. Immigrants and people of color are the backbone of the industry. Well, now a new initiative is spotlighting some of those leaders. Get Konnected is unveiling an inaugural list of the 50 most influential people of color in hospitality and tourism. And joining me now is the founder and CEO of Get Konnected, Colette Phillips. Thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you for having me.
I'm excited to talk about this here because this is the first time this list has come about. How does this list shine a light on people shaping the industry?
Well, first of all, we have the Massachusetts 250, America 250. We have FIFA 2026 World Cup, and we also have the Tall Ship Festivals. And I thought with all of the Massachusetts and Boston being on the global stage, wouldn't it be nice to showcase the people who are behind the scenes, who actually are the ambassadors and the frontline folks to make Boston and Massachusetts a welcoming place, and to demonstrate that we are an inclusive state and city. And you know that African Americans in particular have been the foundation of the service industry, even when they were enslaved. They were the chefs, they were the servers, they were the musicians, they were the people who made events flourish. And even in the 40s and 50s, the Pullman porters. And so this was an opportunity to elevate, to amplify, and to showcase the tremendous talent that exists in that industry.
The timing, I mean, couldn't be better. You mentioned all those events that are happening here. Millions of people will be in town.
Absolutely.
Who are some of the big names on the list that people may recognize?
Well, we have Nia Grace from Grace by Nia. We have Douglas Williams from Mida. We have Jimmy Lian, who is with Love Art Sushi. We also have Irene Lee from May's Dumpling. And we have Daryl Settles, who was a Lifetime Achiever. And he got the Lifetime Achievement Award because he's been in this industry for a long time. Michael Munn, who is the Community Engagement Director of Meet Boston, our primary and presenting sponsor for this event. And also some of the general managers from the hotels. You know, we have there are 8 general managers of color, where 10, 15 years ago, that was non-existing. So,
That's important. You know, there are also people on the list that play critical roles behind the scenes. You're talking about the general managers. Who else is featured that who may not often get their name brought out there?
Well, there's a wonderful woman by the name of Mercedes Hernandez, who is the head of housekeeping for the Colwyn hotels, the regional hotels, and also the head of housekeeping for the Mandarin Oriental. And so there are Zeke Josma, who is the general manager for Davio's, that we never hear of or see, but we know he's there making things happen.
I mean, I have to imagine the reactions they had when they heard they were on this list. I mean, were they surprised? Were they thrilled?
Yes, you know, I was saying to my colleagues, when they got the letters, the emails I received back, you would have thought I told them they were a lottery winner. Because it was such an opportunity to say, we see you, we value you, and we appreciate you. And I have to say that Governor Maura Healey was so thrilled when I told her we were doing this. And she said, I am so glad that you're doing this because of the fact that these are the people who are going to play a significant role as we showcase Massachusetts to the world. And I have to give a shout out to Martha Sheridan from Meet Boston and her team. They were all in and on board. John Barrows from Mass Convention Center Authority, he was all in, and Kate Fox from Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism.
It's great to have all of that support.
Absolutely.
While you're doing this, these industry leaders we know are having a huge impact. They've helped make the hospitality and tourism sector thrive today, but how are they also shaping the future of the industry?
Well, if you think about the food and beverage and the culinary aspect of the tourism and hospitality list, they are the ones that are making Massachusetts an international and global culinary destination because of the fact that we have so many people from all over the world. And so when you come to Boston, it's not just chowder and baked beans and lobsters. It's a lot of different cuisines. It's
cultures.
Different cultures, 140 languages spoken here. So we are welcoming, when the world comes here, FIFA in particular, they're going to see people from their respective countries.
Absolutely.
And that makes such a difference because people don't usually have that lens about Boston.
Colette, thank you so much for the work that you're doing and for creating this inaugural list and making sure people are seen that maybe otherwise wouldn't be. Thank you so much for being here.
And thank you so much for having me, Jessica. It's
great
been
to see
a pleasure.
You. Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, ahead on CityLine, we'll meet one industry leader recognized on Get Connected's list, how innovators like him are changing the game from meals to mocktails.